Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am your host with a beard, and today I am very excited to bring you a review of a very special and kind of a unique car, namely the Polestar 1. So we all know Polestar as the performance brand of Volvo, and a few years back they separated from Volvo and became their own brand. And a lot of people know the Polestar 2 as the fully electric vehicle that they brought out, but before that there was the Polestar 1, which is this vehicle, and it is a plug-in hybrid with about 600 horsepower, roughly. It's about 609 or something if I'm not mistaken, and 1000 Newton meters of torque, which means a lot of fun. The car is very unique. You don't see it on the road all too much. I think there are only about 1,500 pieces made of this vehicle, and today I'm going to show you guys why this car is so unique. Check it out.
Here we have it, guys. The Polestar 1. What a gruesomely beautiful vehicle. Of course, we recognize the Volvo DNA, the Torus hammer with the matrix lights. Such a cool grille. Without the Volvo logo, it looks so clean with these different motifs in it. I mean, motifs, it's like more like these squares. And check this out. Here we have a fan. Let me move in a little bit. If you guys can see it behind these to cool the radiator, and this side is completely closed. A nice little aggressive front end. Here we have a carbon fiber trim. It looks awesome. These are your parking sensors and your radar systems. We have a front-facing camera right here with the Polestar logo. This would have looked so cool if this was also in the yellow that the brake calipers are, which I will show you guys in a minute. Awesome lines on the bonnet here. Look at how aggressive these look. Love this matte color. This is about 6,000 euros for this color option. Here we have some 21-inch Pirelli P0s, and these are 275, and the tires in the rear are 295. Very big tires. Yellow, huge brake calipers as part of the performance package, and the nice little touch as with the Polestar 2. I like these rims. You gotta watch out with these quite a bit because they scratch so easily, and they're sticking out a little bit from the side here, as you guys can see. So when you're parking, it's quite the stressy experience. And here we have some information about the car. So the body of the car is completely made out of carbon fiber reinforced polymer. So everything is carbon fiber here, which is also quite sketchy because if you like damage one panel or a door or something, then that means that you got to replace the entire part of that entire part of the car, because carbon fiber can't be repaired, as we all know. There's a dent in it, you just got to throw it away and just replace it. The rear view mirrors with the LED turn signals in them. Same as with the Polestar 2, this is frameless. They look absolutely beautiful. And when you lock and unlock the car, nice little feature, these door handles pop out like this, and then you just pull them and close them. Huge doors, look at that. Now the rear looks very muscular. Flared fenders here in the back, which I will show you when I'm standing behind the car. And these are the 21-inch 295 Pirelli P0 tires, so very, very wide, as you can see from here. Look at these things. Absolutely insane. And now we are at the rear of the car, Very, very beautiful and very aggressive and muscular. Look at these side fenders sticking out. Over here and over here. And this rear end looks so much better than the Polestar 2. I've reviewed that car as well. If you guys want to check out that review, I'll link it in the description down below, so go check it out. And this is the wing, which at high speeds it's gonna come out to provide more downforce. And of course we see the S90 type lights here, which kind of remind me of you know, a hand that does like this. But look at this, real exhaust pipes in a hybrid vehicle. So the trim of course is fake, but you have some real tailpipes in it. Carbon fiber diffuser type of thing. Not really sure if that's an actual diffuser. It is, because you have like these holes in it and it just flows air through it. Rear facing camera, again the actual real tailpipes. Just overall a gorgeous and beautiful looking car. I think at the moment this is one of the most beautiful cars on the road. It's a limited edition, so you don't see this much. Only about 1,500 in the entire world. But look at this. Oh my god. Now let's check out the interior of the Polestar 1. Just press over here to retract the door handles, pull it and it opens up. Look at these doors. Very wide opening, almost very like perpendicular to the car itself. Look at how wide this is. You can fit anybody in here. Gorgeous looking seats. Look at these. The styling is just amazing. And they sit really well. Look at this, these bowstrings. They support you from everywhere. Nice white leather. This part retracts as well to support your lower legs if you're a bit taller. Fully electrical, of course, with a memory function, as we can see right here. And as in the Polestar 2, part of the performance package are these golden seat belts, which look absolutely amazing. And before I forget, a carbon fiber door sill here with the information of the capsule of the car. Looks great. Nice little attention to detail. And now let's get into the car. Close up the door. Wow. This cockpit is just amazing. So we see a Volvo styled steering wheel covered in leather, perforated leather right here, with of course the Polestar logo. This should also have been in yellow or golden like the seat belts. And here you have various functions here as well, and with flippers, because this is a hybrid and not a EV. Beautiful vent design. We all know this from the Volvo cars, this especially, right out of a XC90, an S90. And here we have the middle console, nice crystal or plastic Polestar gear lever with the Polestar logo. I don't know if you guys can see it right here. So this is a start stop button, and from here you can just check the drive modes. So this is all-wheel drive, which speaks for itself. Pure is just electric, so the electric motor on the rear axle starts to work, so then you're driving in pure electric mode. This is hybrid, this is hybrid, this is individual, so you can set your own personal settings. And the most fun mode is this, power. This is, see, as soon as I pressed it, the engine turned on. So the 2-liter 4-inline engine works together with the motor on the rear axle of the car, providing 609 horsepower and 1000 newton meters of torque. But anyway, continuing in the interior of the car, awesome carbon fiber trim around the whole dash, right here and right here, and also on the doors with a nice chrome accent in it. We have the Bowers and Wilkins sound system, which sounds, and believe me, absolutely amazing. The best sounding sound system that I've ever heard in any car that I've reviewed. I haven't reviewed that many cars, but from the cars that I've reviewed, this is the best sounding. We have a little tweeter type of thing in the front with the brand name right there. Absolutely amazing. And every button, every stalk feels well built and has a nice thud to it. We have a Volvo style digital gauge cluster right here, and of course, if you've seen my video about the XC90, it's basically the same screen that you can scroll through different types of settings. The same 360-degree camera that you have in the Volvo cars. Just press this to go to the home screen, your navigation, you can enlarge the screen, and it's very responsive, as you can see. Barely any lag, but it does have to load a bit. Yeah, not the best in the market, but still good enough. Another very special thing about this car is that you see, like, the front seats are in white leather, right? And look at this motif, absolutely beautiful. But the rear seats are in full black leather. And the rear of the car, I'm gonna demonstrate it to you guys. Let me move these seats forward. Okay, this one doesn't seem to move forward. Let me try again from this side. So just press this button on the rear of the car. Can we please do, oh, maybe you have to turn off the engine. Okay, engine is off, and now, okay, I don't know what, all right. A very slow process, as you guys can see. And that's about it. Rear space is just abysmal in this car. You even have to manually push the seat forward, and then, as you can see, leg space is going to be atrocious. And head space, I'm going to show you guys. Let's just get into the car. This actually, you can just take this off, and this makes getting into the car in the rear of the car much easier. So, okay, head space is so bad. Let me show you. Look at my head. I can't even sit up straight. I'm about between 5'10", 5'11", and I can't sit up straight. So I have to completely slouch down. But when this seat right in front of us is in its upright position, you can't even slouch forward. So the rear seats are basically only meant for kids or very tiny adults. Or maybe a pet or something, like a rabbit. Even though the back of the car is not, or the rear seats are not as practical as the front seats, you can see that the attention to detail is just amazing. Look at this leather. It's just very expensive, very quality leather. Look at this motif in it. Absolutely beautiful. And again, the Barrows & Wilkins sound system has a speaker right here. But look at this, and you can just see this over here. This is for the child seats that you can hook in here, and then you have these zippers that you can put them in. So very nice attention to detail. And of course, the car looks very roomy, more roomy than it is because of this glass panel. Absolutely beautiful. Makes it feel very airy, especially if you open up these windows, then it's like just a light fest in this car. So one thing that I almost forgot to show you guys, a very important thing, stupid me, is la pièce de la résistance of the Polestar 1. So just long press the key to open up the trunk, and there you have it. You know, like in the back of the Audi R8, some Lambos and Ferraris, you have the exposed V12, V10 engine that you can see. Well, here you can see the wiring that powers the electro motor of the Polestar 1. And this looks absolutely gorgeous and is a very unique touch to this car. Haven't seen this or heard about something like this in any other electric or hybrid vehicle. So this is a nice little touch which makes this car stand out from any other car. The trunk itself is really small actually, and most of the space is taken up by this box here, which is meant for the wiring or for the charging cables. But for the rest, you can't really fit that much in here. So if you're going away for a long time, better get some roof racks to put your suitcases on. And look, you gotta, this is one bad thing about this car. It's a 160,000 euro plus car, and you can open up the trunk only with the key, so no button here and there, only from the inside and from the key, but you have to close it manually again. And I think it's kind of weird because the car costs so much money. At least put a button there to electrically close it. And one other thing, so this is the key of the Polestar 1, and as you can see, it's just like any other Volvo key except for the Polestar logo over here. And I think for that amount of money they could have made a better looking key, a more premium looking key, because I mean, it's not like they're mass producing this car. There's only like 1,500 pieces of this, so it's not like they're cutting costs so much by just, you know, copying the Volvo keys. But hey, it is what it is. Okay, and now it's time to get this Polestar on the road and see how it drives. So put my foot on the brake, turn the start engine button. No sound as it starts up in hybrid mode or electric mode. And then put it in drive and let's go. Okay. Immediately you're gonna notice when you climb into this car for the first time and you get it out on the road, how low this car sits to the ground, and also how wide it is. And it does take some getting used to because it's really wide, and especially if you look in the rear view mirrors, you see that the backside of this car is really flared and thick, and you can even see the aggressive lines like going back from the rear view mirror, which is kind of cool because then that gives you the feeling that you're driving something special. Suspension wise, it's good. I'm driving on a bumpy road right now and it's soaking up all the bumps extremely well. These seats are very well supportive and heavily bolstered, I gotta tell you, because these size bolsters, they're gonna touch your behind when you're getting in and out of the car, so be careful with that. It is quite a heavy car because I think this car weighs in at around 2,200 kilograms, if I'm not mistaken. And you definitely feel that because of the batteries and the electromotor and everything. And it does give you a boaty feeling while driving, even when you put it in power mode, which is sports mode. So when you put it in power mode, then the engine, like the combustion engine and the electromotor, they start working together to provide you the full power, which is 609 horsepower and 1000 Newton meters of torque. What a luxurious ride. You can immediately tell by the cockpit, all the carbon fiber around you, all the leather, even on the dashboard here, everywhere, that this is a premium car. One other thing about this car is that not many people have seen it. You know, there's a limited edition 1,500 cars in the world, and the town that I live in, nobody's ever seen this car. So everybody's like, what? And literally everybody's checking this car out, which is weird at the beginning because in other cars, if they're a bit special, okay, some people will check it out. And you know, you have some cars that only car guys are interested in, but this car is just literally everybody. Kids, the elderly people, young people, women, men, everybody's just checking this car out like, wow, this is something special, especially with the performance pack, which makes these yellow brake calipers and these yellow seat belts stick out even more. The cabin is so light and so roomy. I mean, it's not really roomy. It feels roomy because of this panoramic roof, and you have all these windows around you, very large windows actually, and the rear window is actually pretty large as well. It's really sloped, but you don't have any visibility issues. You have a bit of a blind spot over there on the C pillar, or is that the B pillar? Because this is like a coupe, it doesn't have a B pillar. So it has a bit of a blind spot there, but it's not too bad. Plus you have this amazing 3D top-down surround view camera, which you can use to squeeze in and out of tight spots, which you are going to need because the car is really wide and these rims are sticking out a little bit from the tires, so they will scratch definitely when you pull into like tight parking spaces or tight garages or stuff like that. So be wary of that. Okay, I'm pulling up on the highway right now. Let's close the windows. And just 1 second. Okay, the road is clear. Let's floor it. Whoa. Oh my God. That was I'm not gonna tell how much that was, but that was insane. Okay, the thing is, this car has loads of power, 1,000 Newton meters of torque. That's just insane. It's mind-boggling, and you feel it. You just get pressed in your seat while this monster is just eating away the highway miles. And the thing is, when you floor it, obviously the combustion engine, the 2-liter 4 inline, starts working immediately, but it takes like a second or two for the electromotor to kick in, which feels a bit weird because when you floor it, and now the electromotor kicks in. So you feel the car pulling, and 2 seconds later you feel the push from behind that the electromotor is working as well, as it's mounted on the rear axle. But wow, insane speed, effortless. Whew. The thing about this car is that because it's so heavy, it's large as well and wide, you don't really get the sensation of speed. I mean, you know you're going fast, and you can hear the wind and everything, and but you don't get the sensation of speed, if you guys know what I mean. You know, like in for example a C63 M4 or something like that, if you speed it, you could feel everything. You could feel the road, you can feel the exhaust under you going away, the engine, and also those cars are smaller, but you get the sensation of speed, like, oh my God, I'm going fast. Here you get the sensation when you're pulling up, you get like pushed in your seat, but then when you check the speedometer, you're going like, oh my God, I'm going illegal speeds here, and you don't really notice that. But then again, this car isn't, because I have it in sports mode now, right, in power mode, and the steering doesn't seem to tighten up as opposed to, you know, when I'm driving in hybrid mode or pure electric mode. And I think, I mean, it's normal, I think, because this car is meant to be a cruiser, a long distance cruiser, and it's not really meant to be sporty or go take corners aggressively, I think, like that, because that's not going to end well. This is a very heavy car. But for longer journeys, this car is ideal. It has all the latest driver's assistance technological features in this car, the same as with the Volvo cars right now. One thing I have to say is that kept bothering me is that the windowsill here is pretty high. So larger people won't have any issue resting their arm here, but for shorter people, like I'm between 5'10", 5'11", and I want to rest my arm up here, but there's like a leather lining up here which is stitched, and the stitching is sticking out just a bit, and your elbow just pushes against it, and it's really hard, and that starts to hurt your elbow after a minute. So I just put my arm here on the armrest down here. Practicality of the Polestar 1, it's not a very practical car because I went shopping with it today. The boot, as I showed you guys before, is really small. I could only fit like one box of groceries in it, and then I had to put the rest of everything like on the front seat right next to me, which is a bit of shame in a car like this, because you have the electromotor in the back, you know, and all the batteries. You can't put a lot of cargo space there, and it has a motor in front, so no frunk as well as you have with the electric cars. You can put some groceries here on the back seats because they are not meant to seat any people, just some small kids maybe or something. The middle console is really small. It's just like a shallow bit, I think, as well, because of the batteries underneath this middle console. It's very well built though. Very solid build quality with the leather around it and everything, really beautiful, but there's not a lot of space in it. The glove compartment is pretty large. You have like a space separately for your driver's manual to put on top of there, and then you have like plenty of space in here. The door bins aren't the largest. You don't have door bins in the back or any storage space in the back, but then again, this car isn't made to be practical. It's just a feel-good car. People that are going to buy this car, they have 2, 3, 4 other cars for their daily driving and for other practical reasons, so they don't really care if the car isn't practical. I wouldn't care if I had 2, 3 other cars, and then I would buy this. The battery of this hybrid did impress me a lot, because I picked this car up about 3 days ago and the battery was fully charged, 100%, and I've been driving it in different modes, you know, in pure hybrid mode, pure electric mode, hybrid mode, in power mode, which uses both the battery and the combustion engine, and it's still on 20%. So the thing is, this battery charge is really fast when you're driving with the engine, and it's faster than the X5 45e, because I only had that car for about 3-4 hours and the battery was completely depleted when I had to bring it back to the dealership. Here I still have an amount of battery saved, about 20%, 19% they're saying now, but the more I use the engine, the more the battery life goes up. So this is actually great because I didn't even have to charge it up. I just charged it up a little bit just to make a video of it, and very impressive. So I think Polestar is going to be a very viable competition for the Tesla brand, because these cars are coming up really fast. Not the Polestar 1 obviously, but the Polestar 2. I've reviewed that car as well. I'll link it in the description down below for you guys who are interested. And that's a purely electrical vehicle, and the range of that vehicle impressed me a lot as well. And these cars are really close to the range that is depicted by the factory. Do I think this car is worth 160,000 euros? A bit more than that even. I mean, 160,000 euros is a lot of money. That's a small house, even if that's an apartment. But, you know, for people who have that amount of money, who are rich, they aren't gonna hold back to buy this car if they really like it, because it's, let's be honest, it's one of the most gorgeous cars out there at the moment on the roads. It's original, it's unique, because there's nothing like this on the road. It draws so much attention, and if you're a person like that who likes gimmicks and this and that, then you will pay that amount of money for it. For me personally, well, I am very impressed by this car. It's gorgeous. It has been such a great experience driving this car around town on the highways and for the past couple of days. But for 160,000 euros, you have a lot of options. You have a lot of great cars that can compete with this one, performance wise, luxury wise. And I think for that money, they could have made it a bit more luxurious. It is very luxurious, but they could separate it a bit more from the Volvo brand, you know, and I'm talking then interior and everything, because a lot of features have directly been copied from the XC90, the S90 cars. And I think for that amount of money, you do want just that little bit more. But the uniqueness, the originality of this car does play a big role in its price as well. Okay everybody, this was it for today. What a blast these past couple of days have been. I still can't believe I got this car to review, and sadly I have to bring it back now to Polestar Belgium, to their main office. Thank you Polestar for giving me the opportunity to review this unique, original and gorgeously beautiful car. And for the rest of you guys, see you next time. Drive safe and goodbye.